Adversity? Bring it. The struggle? We welcome it. Snooze on life? Never that. We are Dave Regina and Mike Pirelli, and this is the No Snooze Podcast. Come on.
Welcome back, No Snooze Podcast, episode 150. As always, I'm in the booth with the big three. Michael, the show Pirelli.
Frail and pale.
Claudio, the voice, Valenzuela, and I am Dave, the body, Regina. Before we get into this episode is dropping right around Memorial Day weekend. Typically for Americans, it's a great weekend, lots of fun, lots of barbecue, lots of sun outside. But it's ironic because the actual meaning of Memorial Day is very significant. So we just want to acknowledge all of the service men and women who have paid the ultimate sacrifice and have actually died in the line of duty. That's what Memorial Day is all about, Michael.
Well said. Always can lean on you to be very cordial. And politically correct. No, that was good. That's a nice shout out.
No,
and
it's true.
There's a big anniversary coming up. I don't know if you remember. Someone got married.
So someone got married. Oh, there you
Memorial Day weekend.
All right.
Selfishly.
There you go. CB thought he was talking about 4th of July.
Well, no, that's my birthday too.
Yes.
I'm hijacking all the good holidays.
The big hijack, if you will.
And just a heads up.
Yep.
You know, in fashion, typical fashion, I'm going to interrupt the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
If I get a call and I answer it, I'm not being rude. I'm expecting a delivery from Home Depot.
There you go.
Shout out Home Depot, #1 sponsor, No Snooze Podcast. Thank you for the dryer.
Hashtag homeowner's life, right? When you own a home and... Wow, is your mic on for that? Wow, Claudio just said homeowners. Very funny, CV. But no, man, I mean, the Memorial Day thing, I swear, it's very ironic, but... you know, because most people just associate it with this great time. So it's very important that it really is remembered. It's a day of remembrance. There's a lot of families that are torn apart, you know, over the course of time through servicemen and women losing their lives. So we definitely just want to acknowledge that. And quick story. So anytime that I see a serviceman or woman in uniform and I'm in the same location as them, I typically buy them a coffee or I buy them, you know, their dinner. I'll pay their tab or something like that. Not if I'm in this elite steakhouse.
I was going to say, if you go to a steakhouse, it's like, my man, you're doing okay. You got this.
There's boundaries here. Like in Walmart.
Do you want the cream spinach? I'll cover that.
In Walmart, I've looked. Oh, you only got 3 items? I got that. You know, but if you got more than 5, no, sorry.
What's the price on that big item?
So the other day, I'm coming out of Walmart and I had Callie with me. And there was 4 servicemen and women, 2 and 2. And they were walking out and I said, Callie, you say thank you for your service. So she looks at them and she just is like a parrot. So she's like, thank you for your service. So they stopped and they said, wow, that is so nice that you're teaching your child that. So then Callie now asked me, why did I say thank you? Right. So then I'm trying to explain to a 3-year-old. I said, whenever you see anybody in a uniform, you say thank you for your service because they're in the Army, the Navy, the Marines, whatever it is. They're protecting us. Right. That's what I said. They're protecting us.
That's a good way to put it.
And I even said they're protecting the USA. So now she was just didn't hear the protection. She's just like USA. So she was like, thank you,
chanting USA.
Yeah. But it's something, you know, you want to just instill early on because I think when you see somebody, when we were back in high school and they enlist, we had a couple, right, that have enlisted. You don't really think to yourself how pivotal this whole career can be when it comes to being on an actual front line, or, you know, you don't ever think to yourself, wow, this person could potentially be murdered in the line of duty, right? I mean, police, fire, EMS, all of that. It's just, it's something that I think we take very lightly. So on a day like today, it's just a good acknowledgement of them.
Well said.
Right?
Well said. It is important too, when you're celebrating the holidays, really figure out why you're celebrating and what you're really doing it for.
That's right.
So well said, Dave. Listen.
Michael, I honestly, if it is one food that you are shaped like Memorial Day, you would be the big hot dog, if you will.
I thought you were going to say sausage. Trying to
Oh,
promote
the
here.
big oh yeah,
Trying to push tickets.
No. You're like a bun length hot dog. You know
What?
A bun length.
What's a bun length?
So
I extend past the bun.
no. So
I'm
you have
tall.
hot dogs that are like
6'2". 6'2".
It's like the shirts.
What shirts?
Oh, when your short shirts come up, you know.
Me and Dana got a big argument because she bought me some shirts. Typically, larges don't fit.
Yes, yeah.
The sleeves are short,
Yep.
right? What's her name? Britney Spears
Belly
looking.
button.
Yeah,
Yep.
belly button pops out. But I have to apologize. The Performance J. Crew polos fit beautifully.
Yeah,
a little extra long, which
J.
makes
Crew
me
the
think
face.
it's the J. Crew factory, which means they probably didn't sell because they're too long for most people.
Gotcha.
But guess who they're not too long for?
Daddy.
Me, I was gonna say me.
Oh, you don't refer to yourself as daddy?
Nah,
Oh,
I try to avoid it. With this bod, I can't refer to myself as that. Pale and frail, turning it around, calves and abs, 2023. Here we
I
go.
see you, my brother. I see you. So wait, let's go back to bun length hot dogs, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
So you have regular
Very
hot
important.
dogs. You have regular hot dogs, and then you have the extended bun length.
The Sabrettes.
Yes, but they're longer.
But why they call it bun length? Because they're
It
bigger
is
than
longer
the bun.
than the bun.
Yeah, so that
Right,
makes no
that
sense.
is true.
Terrible
I don't know.
marketing.
Yeah, bad marketing. But maybe
It should be called past the bun.
past the bun length. Yeah. So if you were a,
Peking.
I'd definitely be like a burger or something.
Oh, you're more like a sausage patty.
I'm a kielbasa. Kielbasa.
Yeah. It'd be hard to compare like to a meat. You're a steak.
Yeah,
You're just a big
real
steak.
quick though. What is your favorite? Like, talk to me about a plate at a barbecue.
Christ, did you see the barbecue I ate this
Well,
weekend?
that's like real.
Oh my lord.
Yeah. That's like real deal.
For me, ribs have to be like
Yes.
worth it,
But that's
because
I
there's
mean,
such a production.
most people aren't doing that.
Like you're covered in sauce. Like if it's not amazing, like what are we doing?
I mean, see, for me with the beard, you got to be conscious of that
Yeah.
stuff.
So there's a certain risk reward
Yes,
factor. Plate. Love a good potato salad.
Yeah. Yes. Ooh.
Big coleslaw fan. Big coleslaw fan.
So
Unsung hero.
So you
Anything with
like the
vinegar.
mayo and the mayo though on
I'm a
the
big
potato
mayo guy.
salad and the
Well, the key sometimes is I'll have a burger. I'll throw a little of that on the burger.
On the
to
burger.
cut through the
Boom.
richness of the
now,
meats.
now you're talking.
Oh, I have a great story for you too.
Now you're talking.
Great story.
Finish your plate. Finish your plate.
Yeah, meats, I'm going probably, I got to show everyone a little love. If there's sausage patty, burger patty, hot dog, everything that's available,
Chicken
I'll take.
too, right? Yeah. One of them.
Usually chicken, if I can get a chicken, I'll throw it on a bun maybe, make it more mobile.
Yep.
I'm in.
Make it
I'm in.
mobile.
Anything barbecued, especially made by you, the big grill,
The big.
I'm a fan of.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good plate right there, man.
What's
I
your
mean,
plate?
Honestly, so I
And I know it's two. I never know you go one plate.
Well, I'll go. I typically will go 2 hot dogs, two well done hot dogs, and I slice my hot dogs, as you know, right? I gotta take the slice to them, like Walters in Mamaroneck.
Never had it.
That
Heard it's phenomenal. There was a
Tell
a
them
pop-up
Mike
recently.
sent you. Should go there.
Yeah.
Seriously. Even though
I'm
it's out of
afraid to
town.
explore because they'll never
Even
come
though it's
back.
out
You
of
got to
town.
go to the original though.
Oh, it's
Where's the
In
original?
Mamaroneck.
Yes,
Oh,
in
it's-
Mamaroneck.
yeah.
on the
I've
back.
driven
one in,
by it.
right on the
White
side.
Plains.
Yes, they have the truck.
Yeah.
I've driven by it.
Oh, great. But typically, I'd go 2 well done hot dogs.
Okay,
Right.
definitely
Two-
not enough food for you.
No,
Keep
but
going.
2 well done hot dogs, chicken,
So a moose bouche.
chicken, a burger, a sausage, a good side of the potato salad. I'll do a little bit of the coleslaw, but I like sauerkraut and all that stuff on my actual hot dogs
Christ.
with
I
the
love
mustard,
sauerkraut.
with the ketchup.
Love it.
And then I'm saving room for if there's the good meats later on, right? Like, because when I barbecue, I'll throw the cheap stuff on, fill everybody up, and then you come out with
The good stuff.
good stuff
Smart.
later on, you know?
A point of that. I want to hear CV.
Yeah,
as
CV
well.
got his mic.
He's
My
getting
man hasn't
all-
got
he's
his
getting all
mic
fired up.
in four episodes.
You know what?
And now
Let's
he's
keep
like,
the
ready.
momentum going. CV,
I got my
you tell
list.
us.
Talk-
I got my
ready.
big 3. My
He's
big
Talk
ready.
to me, CV.
Oh, pasta salad, a cold pasta salad too with Italian dressing.
Macaroni salad too is
Ooh.
nice.
So while all of that is delicious and sounds amazing, and my mouth is salivating, my top 3, and the most important will go to the end. I love my Italian sausages with bread. I love
Let's
that.
go, Michael.
Um,
the big
The next
you like
line
us.
is I don't know if skewers that usually have like
Ooh.
meat, like a
Pineapple.
pork, a little bit of change
Pepper.
of flavors, right?
Pastor.
Delicious.
What?
But my
never had that.
all-time favorite, I go to my friend's 4th of July barbecue,
Mm.
and my man is a grill master. And this guy always comes out with his little lamb pops, and he makes them to perfection. And when I tell you, like, I look forward every year just for my lamb pops, and there's not a lot because there's a lot of people and everybody wants them.
That's a bougie
But
house.
my man, he is
Serving
my
lamb.
guy. He always comes and seeks me out and I get the first lamb pop, and it is amazing.
Wow.
This guy,
We gotta
There it
step our
is.
game
this
up.
guy, he's
There it
cutting
is.
Serving
up
hot dogs. He's serving lamb chops.
He's cutting up Chuck beef
Yeah.
and telling people it's lamb
Lamb
pops. He's
pops.
such a good cook. That's my goal, is to be such a good cook. I'm like, yeah, it's lamb,
It's
and it's
lamb.
like
No, it's
terrible
just-
beef.
yeah.
You just marinate well.
No, these guys
Um,
are delicious.
A side note and an asterisk to all this is I like to pace each item
Mhm.
with a beverage. Okay. So as I'm snacking on a bee,
Each item with a bevy. I can't.
yeah,
do
you
that.
do. Yeah,
Can
you
I
do.
that? You think?
You catch a little bit. Yeah. You drinking BLs? If you're drinking BLs,
BLs are easy. Yeah, yeah. But
BLs are
I'm
like
usually
water.
going BLs and a shot. You know, and then a hot dog.
well, that's the
BL and a
problem when I hang out with you. Is like we elevate it too quick.
shot. Yeah,
But yeah, nothing better than a little sun, a little fun. Nothing
yeah.
better.
Oof.
I love being just by the grill. Like I'm
Oh,
not, I don't
It's a little
like.
hot though.
That's the
it's a
nice
little
thing. You
sweaty.
sweat
I
a
don't
little bit,
like
you
it.
schwitz.
I don't like going to like sit at the table and wait for them. Somebody. I like being right next to the
Yeah,
grill.
yeah.
agree.
Like, oh, that one's about to
'Cause-
get a little burnt. I'll
yes,
eat it real quick.
Yes, you get the side immediately.
Yep.
The first testing.
Yep.
You know what? Too, I think we're all similar. Like I like to bounce around the scene,
Yeah.
right? And if you're mobile and you got mobile food in your hand, I don't like to be confined to a plate.
Yeah, I bounce
Sometimes-
from left side of the grill to right side of the grill.
And then no one knows how much you're eating.
Exactly. You can't be. Oh, that's a big plate. You,
No,
what are you,
no.
my
It's
sponsor?
like I just ate my
Right? Like, let me
just
live.
ate my hot dog. Keep it moving. Come back for a burgie.
One year, I put up a thing like, how many points can you accumulate? And it was like hot dogs 1, burgers 2, and I want to know your scores at the end of the Memorial Day.
That's pretty good.
And
That's awesome, actually.
It
People
would
wouldn't
be
be honest though. People would be like,
I'll look
"I didn't
back."
Have anything?
no. I'll look back because I want to say, like, how many dogs can you put down just casually in a
Honestly,
day of
if I-
drinking?
but if I go to Walters, right, the order is 3 off the top. And that's
Casual though. I'm
easy,
saying
though. That's
casual on a
easy.
Memorial Day, typical
On a weekend?
Sabrettes. You're
Wait,
grilling them up.
just hot dog?
No, like that's like the starting point, right? Like how many hot dogs you're putting down in a full day? I'm putting 5 at least.
Oh, well, it
Here's Home
depends.
Depot,
That's
guys.
like-
Home Depot.
Yeah, let's listen in. Let's listen in.
Hi, this is Mike.
Yeah, hello. This is Home Depot.
Hey, how are you? Right on time. I love it.
The big depot, if you will.
Yeah, we should be arriving within the next 15 minutes. If you could just give me a data code.
All right, beautiful. I'll give him a ring now, and then he'll meet you in the front, and you'll go through the garage if that works.
Tell everyone the code, Mike.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Give everybody the code. All right, that was not that. I thought you were gonna like make up a story to him, tell him something crazy. You know?
No. Listen, you don't want to fuck with people that are installing your dryer.
Yeah, that's true. That's
they
true.
will be there in 15.
Um,
Shout out to Frankie Flat Top for covering today.
The
It's my
big-
father's
The
nickname.
big FP.
Probably the best flat top in the game.
The only.
Send
flat
in your
top
if
in
you
the
have
game.
anyone that has a flat top in your life, I'd love to see it, and we'd
Yeah.
love to review it on
That's
the
right.
podcast.
This thing is literally, and you know the best part about it is his lawn is the same exact way.
Pristine.
I mean, it is perfect. No, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
this thing is perfect. There is never a day that you walk near that house that the lawn is not pristine.
Have you
It's
heard this
perfect-
story?
a
Have you heard the
perfect
story
lawn.
about one of his clients? So he's one of the managers at Some Rain Sprinklers, big sprinkler company in Greenwich. He had a higher end client. He deals with the he's retired now, semi-retired, so he doesn't deal with the clients now. But when he dealt with the clients, they'd be very like higher end, big properties, millions of dollars worth of just landscaping.
Yep.
Just the landscaping itself, hundreds of thousands in water.
We'll go F ourselves.
Right?
son.
So he literally, one of the clients went up to the people who were doing the work. He's like, "You see this guy's hair?
That's how I want my
I
lawn.
want my lawn to look like that, but
Yes.
just green."
That is perfect.
One of the best things I've ever
It
heard.
is true. Beautiful.
So we're talking food. We're talking about how many hot dogs. Like casually, if I'm snacking, if it's around me and easily accessible, I'm just pounding.
Yeah.
So I talked to AC
But
about.
a bun on every one, though?
You double bun? You
No,
double
no,
dog?
no.
You're
yeah. No,
have
no,
you
no.
ever done that?
I'll go. Yes. Well, so they actually at Walters, right? They
Double
have
dog
the
it?
double. They have a double.
I got to go to this place.
So it's incredible. But no, I like just burning a hot dog on the actual grill, taking a fork and just doing my thing. No
Yeah.
bun.
Yeah.
But then I'll have my buns.
Yeah.
You know.
I love mustard and sauerkraut.
Call me
unsung
Davy,
hero.
Davy Buns, if you will.
That's good. Brother Bill
Get
makes
this camera off of me.
Brother Bill makes the old school. He'll throw them in a tray and mix it with the sauerkraut and beer. And it boils.
Ooh.
My man's got a cyst.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Man's got
I've
a
had
cyst.
it. Yeah, I've had it. Mhm.
So fun
In a tray.
story. I can't disclose what I was doing, but long story short, there was a show that me and Dana were on, not on, but we were a part of it.
Mhm.
And they did like a little audition, right? And they said, "This is not my crowning moment." They did a little audition.
Okay.
So they said, "All right, we're going to describe a certain food item." They said peanut butter and jelly. and the place we were working on was not peanut butter and jelly. So I was a little thrown for a curveball. It's about 8 in the morning, 8:15ish. Really didn't have a coffee, worked late,
Yep.
million things in my head that I have to do the rest of the day, right? Not focused at all, real bad. First guy goes, incredible description. I think he threw in some Italian words. Like, if you want to listen to a gentleman to tell you a menu before you eat, it's the guy. So I'm like, this guy's getting it. There's no point to even doing this. Like, whatever, I'm a failure. So Dana goes next and describes peanut butter and jelly beautifully. And I'm
Really?
like, I'm like,
What does she say?
Like, where the fuck did that come from?
What did she
You know?
say?
I don't remember.
What do you mean, where did it come from? She has to listen to you talk about food items.
You would
all
think,
day
right?
long.
You would think.
What are we talking about here?
You would think, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So then it gets to me, and they're like, in my head, I'm like, oh, creamy, nutty. Peanut butter and jelly has the sweetness, the savoriness. It's sticky. It's just
Sticky?
everything sticky.
Oh,
So yeah, exactly.
Sticky.
So then she goes, describe pizza. Not a type of pizza. Not like just out of the blue. It's like a warm hug. I said,
oh,
terrible.
warm hug.
It doesn't describe anything. About
What is a
pizza.
warm hug?
Exactly.
Oh.
Dana looks at me and starts laughing.
She was probably like mortified.
I
Like,
choked. I was like, so
a warm hug.
and then the lady's like, oh yeah, you probably don't do this often. Like, I know it's hard. And I was like, well, I have a food show.
yeah, I wanted
And
you
she's
to
like,
pick up my
no.
show.
She's like, no, really? And I'm like, yeah, I swear to God. So that was, it's fun for Dana to really give me the business on this stuff
Yeah.
because usually I'm the one making fun of her when she gets like nervous or chokes.
right.
Like at a deli, if she tries to order food at a deli,
Yeah,
that's
you
like her
said
brain
she
gets in a
clams
pretzel.
up. Or McDonald's, she clams up too, right?
Karma hit me. Karma waited for me to be the most excited for something
Yeah.
and then get punched in the mouth.
Wow.
So I'll never recover. I think
So
I'm
like,
retired.
I'm trying to understand though, like pizza, right? What would be a good response
Like
to that?
for pizza, it's all about the crust for me, right? You start with a crust, and then everything on an addition is a plus. If you give the crust, it's chewy, it's crunchy, it's crisp. You could fold it, you hear the crack. You bite into it.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
sweet.
So this
the
is what you
sauce,
should have
the
said?
cheese. Like usually, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Just off. It was an off day.
You said a warm
So
hug.
after that, so this is you're gonna like this. So
What?
after that experience, I'm like, I get my life together. No more of this shit, right? Must have been the fake creamer in my coffee that threw me off today. I'm looking for a scapegoat.
yeah.
Even if it's not a scapegoat, it's a turning point in your life to get your shit together.
You're right.
And I just swore, so get your
I thought the initial was good. Like I thought you were gonna say
That's why you're my guy.
it's like
You're
a warm
ride or
hug.
die.
No, I'm
No,
serious.
but I was
It's like a warm hug, but then I was expecting a follow up
I'm
of
being-
some sort.
Yeah, I'm being generous. There was hesitation. It was I was
A warm hug.
Well, like one of those to start, right? So little did she know before that I ate pizza for a month. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to call AC.
Sliced
I'm
him.
going to get my life back on track. Because that's what you do. You call your personal trainer
That's right.
and you say, listen, I've disappeared for 6 months. Last time you saw me, I was at 10%. I'm about 50 right now. Okay. Clothes don't fit. Stress is through the roof. Haven't slept in years. What are we going to do? He was laughing and this and that. So it was a good turning point. Talk to him. Back on the straight and narrow. I am sneaking into the city for my anniversary. Might go to Locali, have a pizza. Might snack a little bit. But yeah, I know you like. Do you have triggers in your life where you're like, all right, when I'm eating this item, it means I'm locked in? Like other than being locked in, I never do this. For me, it's black coffee, right? When I drink hot black coffee
Mhm.
and I don't even think about creamer and I'm sipping it like it's water. And throughout the day, I maybe have a couple of them, maybe throw espresso on ice. When there's no creamer in sight, I know I'm locked in. You ever get that mode?
No, because even when I'm locked in, I can still have a couple of the big O.
See, you're not extreme.
That's the Oreo.
You're not extreme.
That's the Oreo people. No, I can't relate. I'm sorry.
Well, cool.
But you
Cool
could try you could try Americanos though. They're good too, and that's just
What's that?
espresso with water.
No, I
But
don't
it's,
want water.
no, it's very.
I want
good.
ice.
No,
Your
Americano.
Your espresso. I think you're the first one who.
Correct. Put your mic on so we can debate.
You taught me.
Put your mic
you
on. so
taught
we
me
can debate
espresso
this
on ice,
publicly.
right? You taught me
Espresso,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
But you do rookie stuff. You go dopios, which is 2. I was doing quads.
Which is that's not
4.
healthy.
4
Well, you
on
have more
ice.
mass.
But CV,
I have more
as
body
you
fat.
Google,
As I'm
an
Googling.
Americano
Yes.
is espresso mixed with water.
But I thought all
I don't know if I love that.
espressos
But I
are
guess
water.
ice is
No,
mixed with
no,
water.
it's good. It's good though.
Well,
But
it's
like
concentrated.
and
You're
a
talking about-
Starby, right? If
Starby's
you're
pretty
talking
good.
Starby's Americano, it's delicious. gives a nice little ring to it. You should try it.
Love it.
CV, are you willing to put anything on this or no?
No, I mean you're right. I'm looking at the
Put
thing.
anything on this?
So wait, I thought an Americano had milk. No milk?
No, it's a latte or something. Americano's no.
No, remember?
I
when
mean, you can add
remember
milk
when
to
you
an
were on
Americano.
vacay and you were
but if
you were
you-
telling the story about you looked for an espresso and they said to you a different thing and you were like, what is that?
Oh, that was the gordito or the
Cortado.
cortado.
Cortado's the one.
Mike's
with,
gordito. Sorry. I mean,
What
it's
is the
little
what is
fat.
the what is
I
the?
mean, little fat.
I
That's
am.
what I mean.
I am un pequeño,
Yeah, un pequeño,
Un pequeño.
gordito. De
Más o menos.
Miguelito, if you will.
más o menos.
We're on a roll today. A lot of Americanos going on.
Whoever made that comment way back when of like, hey, I love the episode, but I wish you wouldn't ramble in the beginning about random
Sorry,
stuff.
guys.
You're loving this one. I lost my train of thought.
All right, guys. Until next time, stop snoozing.
Get up and get
after it.
No, pizza oven. Pizza oven.
Yeah,
Can we
yeah,
talk
yeah,
pizza ovens?
Talk.
We're talking grilling. We're talking entertaining. We're talking pizza ovens. I'm making progress. I've moved, man, I don't know, cubic feet of earth, maybe 50 feet, 50 feet of cubic feet of earth.
Yeah.
I'm putting it on the other side of the property. I went to town hall, and when things get real when you get legal, you know, when you're like, hey, like, how do I do this above board
Yeah.
and stop hiding and working during the day?
Yeah.
And found some good info. I found that if you build a pizza oven about a Frank Pirelli height, which is about 5'11", which we all know, Frank, you're not 6. You don't have to get zoning approval, so you can be right on the edge.
Yeah.
I want it on the edge of the property so that I can incorporate the most floor area ratio as possible
Yep.
to get good seating, get good entertainment going on. Kids can play.
Yep.
You know, if you're like 5 feet from the
Is
property
this
line,
this summer project?
it's gonna celebrate Juliana's birthday project.
Really?
August 8th is you buying an oven or you're building one?
Really?
Which one's gonna cost you more?
Wait, I have a
Really?
question.
When
about
you
this
commit
oven.
to a timeline
Yeah, you
and
go.
a cost, what
That's right.
happens, Dave?
You
You drink black coffee
accelerate right
at
through it.
dinner.
you
That's right.
Americano, give it an Americano.
You're outside, rain or shine.
What was the question, CB?
about this about this pizza oven because I want a pizza oven and I've been thinking
If you build a pizza oven before
Before-
I'm done, I'm gonna lose my.
Well, that's probably
because it
gonna-
looks beautiful.
I'm
out
not
there.
gonna lie, it's probably gonna happen. However,
Tina's gonna be
this
so
is
mad.
I don't think I want to because your pizza oven is wood fed.
Yeah.
So
You're gonna do
with-
gas
Well, I was thinking
like a propane
like
thing.
an uni. I like the uni.
Oh,
Uni's
yeah, those
cool.
are
Yeah, I have
good.
an
Those
uni.
are-
Love
those
an
are
uni.
good.
It's fun. It's I would get the gas and pellets so that the pellets are more work. You have to feed the oven and you have to keep it a certain temp, else the pizza doesn't come out right. So it takes time for it to reheat up. So people make a mistake of just trying to do too many in a row. So you got to really let it get to temp, about 700 and above, and it cooks it perfectly in about a minute. But if you don't do that and you don't make like the crust nice and thin, it's chewy, doughy, uncooked. It's tough, but it's fun. Like to get the ball rolling.
You're
it's
talking
great.
about the uni, correct?
Yeah, that's what I have.
Because in doing it with wood, it's
Well-
going to be that much harder for you, though.
Yeah, but with a big oven,
Yeah,
there's more surface area, so you get a hot spot. I've been doing my research.
that's why I
like-
was asking.
So you could throw like an 18-inch pie, which is a large pie. Like
Yeah.
I could be putting in large
no,
pies.
that's huge.
You throw an 18-inch pie in, it's a certain circumference, and then the hot spot, when you move it and you rotate it, you put it to another hot spot. If you want the crust to quick up,
Wait, how big is your
42
gonna be?
inches in interior.
So you can move it from like
No, we're not moving it. It's built. Like
no,
it's going to be
meaning-
like.
meaning the pizza. You can.
Oh
move
yeah,
it
you
from,
can
like,
move it from spot to
four,
spot.
4 different
The
spots.
the
Because
usually
you have
the,
to feed it.
the
You have to
fire's
feed a
usually on
lot
the
of it.
left. Yeah, it takes about an hour to 2 hours to heat up.
Damn.
But-
I'm calling, you see, you guys get
Yeah,
crazy.
it's crazy.
I'm
Listen
calling
to me.
Catania's.
All right, listen to me.
The delivery's going to be
That's
here in
why
40 minutes.
Listen to me, right? It's about so let's call it 8 o'clock.
So you know what I was thinking?
Yeah.
So because I understand the heat component and all that. So I was thinking about getting a uni.
Yeah.
And then encasing it in in bricks like the heat bricks.
You need a bigger one though if you're
Oh.
gonna do that. I think because the unis they
bigger
don't
one.
come that big. They're like
no, I know. I think the 12 inches.
get
probably
like
the
a
biggest
mid
you can
one.
get.
There's mid ones that come
Yeah.
that are like reasonable.
But
Probably
if you do that,
1500.
then you encase some of the heat, so the heat doesn't disperse on the outside. So you basically just put this thing in there.
it's more the deck.
No, I know. But then remember, if heat is leaving on the outside, it means that the heat on the inside is also.
Yeah. It would help.
So that's what I was thinking in my mind because I'm not trying to for 2 hours be feeding fire. Wood.
for
you
the
know.
uni it wouldn't take. It's pretty quick.
No, but I was
Yeah.
thinking about the wooden thing because my dad has an oven and it's
Like a built-in
wood,
one?
Yes,
Yeah,
and it's a pain.
it's a
man. Like,
project. It's a project.
you have to like feed that thing consistently just to get like, and it's not even consistent.
to
That's
get
the
to
worst
10.
part, right?
Yeah. But my thought is like if say we're entertaining, like all right, come over. It's like all right, I'm gonna throw some wood in the oven, get it going. and you get it down to a system.
You better not come in hungry.
No, but that's what I'm
You'll be
saying,
waiting
right?
for 3
Then
hours.
about 8 o'clock hits, the kids maybe fall asleep, and it's like, all right, let's go have a cigar by the pizza oven, and I just fucking throwing a pizza.
Yeah, it takes 3 minutes, right, or something.
Once it's up and
in,
running,
though, it's-
and if it's like I do it well, and I'm gonna have a system where I'll have the thermometer with an app, so I can look inside while it's like, all right, it's ready to go. I'm gonna run out and
are we doing a pizza party for Juliana's birthday?
yeah.
my man said, "Are we? Are we?
Don't you
doing
love
it?"
how I
Is that what
commit
we're
to
doing?
things and never
He
done
said,
it?
yeah.
But here's the
We've
thing.
been waiting for all these we projects, and none of these
we-
we
but
projects
we,
are
I've been making
happening.
progress. We took
There
down
used to
a
be a
building.
Jim Miguel.
Yeah.
There used to be a Miguel's
Oh, we
bar.
do. Jim
Now
Miguel.
it's Miguel's
Jim Miguel
Pizzeria.
is. Jim Miguel's almost done.
It's
Like,
not even dusty anymore.
It's nice. I painted the floor.
Seriously, it's nice. Treadmill looks good.
So I figured it out, right? I like to go and do these big projects. They take a while though.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like you gotta stay with me. We have a certain amount of episodes. I gotta run. I gotta
Right,
let it,
right, you gotta
you know, I
drag
gotta
this
let it
on.
marinate a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the vision when I went and did an episode at a friend of ours who had a pizza oven, he was giving me the rundown. He's like, he described this situation. He's like, I have a party, right? And people want certain items, and like, all right, let's get. And in the process of you tell me what you want, I make a pizza instantly.
Wow.
You want pep? You bring me some peppers from your house. I just throw it on. You want a steak? Yeah, we'll just throw it in there.
That's good,
Bing, bing,
too.
bing. All right. Well, the temp's coming down because it cools down. It takes a long time.
Mhm.
Throw a chicken in there, roasted chicken.
Ooh.
Like, it's all about
Versatile.
learning and getting good on it. If that can be my thing, it's like, yeah, Mike on the pizza oven is like he's a savant. He's not good at anything else in life.
Sommelier.
He, yeah, different. That's wine, but yeah,
No, and cigars. It's probably a thing for everything.
you're
Feel
probably
me?
right.
You
You're
feel
probably
me?
right.
You feel me?
But just the scene of like us standing around a wood fire oven, smoking a cigar, waiting on a steak cooking. I can't get the vision out of my head. I've tried. How long have I been talking about this damn pizza?
Yeah,
oven?
well, it's manifested. It's done. Now you have a hole in the earth.
A lot of dirt.
We're almost
A
there.
lot of dirt.
We're almost there.
I dug back. So if it's over 3 feet, you need a permit for a retaining wall. So I'm going to make a retaining wall bench.
Yep.
Which is a big. That's going to be a big transformation for me for the space. When you come in, you're like, wow, it's big down here. It's flat. This is not like you're going to be right at home. I might do a lattice.
Like
CV knows this
yes,
stuff,
I know what a lattice is.
but on the
Fence?
ground and have grass growing through it.
Wow.
So it gives you the effect of like a garden,
Mm.
but it stays porous.
Wow.
So you can get the water drainage.
Wow.
So when you walk onto I'm
Hobart-
envisioning
This is the west side?
this
the
is
east side?
Hobart East.
This is the east side. Yeah, yeah.
I'm envisioning, right? We get onto the deck. Bar Miguel's not done yet. It will be, right? Kids on the right are in a blow up pool, right? There's a sprinkler going. They're all going nuts, throwing each other over the fence, whatnot. We just tune them out. Their noise and their screaming just like fades out and dumbs out. We walk to the left, light up a couple cigars. The pizza oven's roaring. Cut up a steak, throw a steak in, and we're just standing there letting it drip onto the pizza garden clovers that are growing through the ground.
Wow.
And whoever wants to be with us, they're sitting over on the bench, the retaining wall bench, and you're like, "This is your backyard." I feel like we're in Italy.
You know what that feels like?
No, I don't, because you have it.
A warm hug.
I just want a warm hug.
My guy.
And what's motivating is everyone's be like, "There's no way you're doing this. There's no way."
oh,
And
but
it's
this is
so
happening.
clear in my head that I can do it.
This
with
is happening though.
the blind faith in my ability to figure it out is probably why I get in trouble. I do.
Yep.
Can I
like
tell you
that.
something that happens to me sometimes?
Sure.
So I have that same kind of
Blind
outlook,
faith?
You know, like I'll
Blind faith, but you gotta
I'll
have
look at,
faith, the faith.
I'll think of a
Da-da-da.
project that we have to do around the house.
Yep.
And I'll work it out in my mind, and then I understand what I have to do to kind of accomplish it, and it becomes very clear.
Yep.
And it becomes like, oh, I got this. I can do this. It's very easy. No problem. I just need to like get it started and get going. The problem with this is that then you start doing it, and then you realize how hard it actually is, and how
do.
backbreaking it actually truly comes to be. That in your mind, you're like, oh yeah, just A, then B, and then C, and then we're good. It's done. Little did you know that after A, you're so shot, you're like, oh, I don't want to do
My
this
guy
project
Oscar
anymore.
doesn't get shot though. I'm telling you, my man, he just keeps going. That's what I'm telling you. You guys are breaking backs over here, and
No.
my back is feeling better than ever.
So the point that I think you're making, which I agree with, is yes, but I want to stretch my stubborn muscle, and I want to keep growing that. I have a stubborn muscle like no other.
Hey.
The stubby
My
muscle.
stub muscles.
Wait,
Not
stubby
bad.
muscles? Is that what you're?
So
Not that kind of show.
what my conversation myself is, all right, moving this dirt and shoveling this dirt. Francis Ngannou is the heavyweight champion of the world for UFC, and he got buff and trim by shoveling sand.
He's a big dude.
So that's one of the best workouts.
He's a big dude.
So I'm like, if I look
Anything
at
in
this
construction, have you seen a construction guy that's not strong?
CV, you're
I hear
hitting it,
you,
baby.
but look
You're
at me and look at the two of you. I haven't lifted a finger.
frail and pale.
I haven't lifted a finger
It's a different
my whole life.
It's a different
and
strength
you
and
two
look.
are over here telling me that it's gonna be a good workout.
So you have the
CV can't even look at me.
that's pretty good.
No.
So you have the good bodybuilder physique.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
have the that guy swings a hammer.
That guy, he
You know?
shovels sand.
So he shovels sand.
Wow, sick. And I'm gonna be at the lake, like actually shoveling sand with my daughter. Like,
So in my head, if I'm like
maybe
if I-
a little
if-
sand pail.
if,
Yeah, yeah,
if I
exactly.
shovel dirt, it doesn't feel like a workout. It's like fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy the progress of seeing like moving earth, you know? So, and you use the
Shovel.
wheelbarrow, you move to the other side, you know, get a real workout. Maybe 1,000 calories you burn in an
Mhm.
hour of shoveling, you know, especially the way I work
yeah,
You know?
for sure.
diligently.
You have like a bandana on too.
No, I'm working towards
I do
that.
that. I do
Wait
that.
till I go shirtless in the dirt. I have Livy shoveling to the left
Yeah,
of me. I'm like,
yeah.
come on, get to it. And she goes, more dirt. I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, baby.
It's just my whole thing about getting more rugged. You know, I was very close to trying to grow a beard this week. Very close. But I'm looking at it. I'm looking at everything a little different now. I'm looking at I'm building what I want to be in about a year. And when I get there, it's like growing a money tree. You don't see it growing. And then one day it's like, oh my God, there's the tree.
There's the truth.
You know? So I want one day to be like, oh my God, what happened to this
Mm.
guy? What did he eat someone? Like, so what happened to you? Remember what your transition, what do you want to call it? Not transition.
my transformation.
Transformation, that's the
Yeah.
word.
Well, it doesn't really count because
It
I had an
counts.
undiagnosed health condition that we
But
didn't
Dave,
know what it
people
was.
didn't know about that.
I know, but
It's-
then when
it's
you
more credit.
but then when you get the actual diagnosis and you get the medicine and you get a good diet and you're working out, it happens.
Still hard to do.
Yeah, funny story though, and then we'll move into the value of the day. Even though this is
pants are tight.
definitely valuable here.
Dave, I did some squats. I
Somebody-
did some squats yesterday, and my pants are real tight.
I see you. Look at you. So
'cause my quads are
somebody
massive.
comes up to me. It was Karina.
Okay.
And she goes, Dave, I got a question for you. I said, what? She goes, Mike's selling sausage?
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, what makes you say that? She's like, I don't know. I spoke to Dana and I remember the context, but is he a sausage salesman now? And I was like, no, they're doing a party. She was like, oh, that's what it was. That's what it was. But now, so be careful because people are thinking that I think they think that you're making your own sausage
Yeah.
and selling it.
But listen, if the event does well, I might do it.
Absolutely.
I'll say one thing. I'm going with the flow at this moment. I'm
Mhm.
not stressing about strategy. I am staying focused on the real estate stuff. But as
Mhm.
things
That was the word of the year for him, right?
as things come up, and I'll talk about it a little later in the episode, I'm trying to embrace my quirkiness and enjoying the process of things
Yes.
because I'm operating at like if one side of the candle is burnout, I'm almost burnt out at this point. So the only way I can stay on this crazy output and like doing my this is literally my new schedule is wake up at 4:30, work out till about 6:30. Kids from 6:30 to 8, drop off about 9 to 5 is when I do all the real estate. Kids back at 5 to 8, and then work from 8 to 11 roughly back in the office. So if I'm operating like that, I got to have more fun. It's the only way you do it. The only way you have a high output and like real estate is very stressful is you got to just kind of have fun with it. It's the only way.
Well said. And
And that comes in the form of sausage.
I'm sure. I'm sure. And digging holes. Yeah. To me, you're saying, "Oh my God, I'm so burnt out." In my mind, I'm like, "Well, stop digging dirt, my brother."
That keeps my sanity. That keeps my sanity.
I know. I'm just messing with you. CV, let them know where we get this protein at.
We wanted to take a quick second to let you guys know that we partnered with our good friends over at Orgain.com. We're happy to offer our listeners 30% off by entering the code NOSNOOZE30. Again, that's NOSNOOZE30 for 30% off your first order. If you're on the market for a new protein powder, nutritional shake, protein bar, or Mike's favorite, collagen peptides, Orgain is your one-stop shop. As all of you know, my Crohn's disease is currently in remission, and the only protein I use is from Orgain. My personal favorites are the chocolate peanut butter and the vanilla bean. With the code, you can try a 2-pound tub for under $20. Talk about not snoozing. Go get yours today. Now, back to the epi.
All right. So today we're just going to touch briefly, because we spoke about so much sausage.
What is briefly?
Briefly. Well, I was thinking like a burrito because we've been talking so much food here. But basically, how to find a balance to reward yourself for the actual work being done and not only focusing on the results. The Rock has a great quote, and he says, "Don't cheat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself." Right. And this is something that is pretty difficult to do. But life is very tough, right? As all of us know, whether you're a parent or not a parent, you got a job, no job. Everybody has their own form of tough.
Well, if someone's not a parent, doesn't have a job, probably a pretty easy life.
True. But they probably have their own struggles.
Hashtag goals.
But the real way to get through these things is to learn how to reward yourself now and later, right? For the progress that you've made, the work that you're putting in, and then obviously when you accomplish the goal or get to where you're looking to go.
My favorite comedian of all time, Bert Kreischer, says you got to give yourself little treats.
Yeah, no, I mean it's so true, but I think success is funny. I was talking to one of my mentees, a young he's 24, it makes me sound
Jesus
also.
Christ.
Yeah, really. And basically about the concept of success and how, the people you're when you're in the thick of it, typically you're really not being paid for what you do, right? Like the position I'm in now, it's ironic because if I look back 7 to 10 years ago, that was when I was really, really putting in the work, and I'm now receiving the benefits and the paycheck of the work that I did back then, right? And success is funny like that because we lose sight when you're really putting the day-to-day grind in. Typically, you're not seeing the actual financial result because it takes a long time to get there, right? Like you're building your way up in any industry, right? When you're busting your behind to sell, probably $2,000 worth of a rental or something like that. Back then, the work that you put in and the skill set that you've gained, you're reaping the benefits now because you're able to do it much faster. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yep.
Right.
There's
So
an
success is
exponential growth.
Exactly. Success is very funny like that. But I know this was something that you wanted to touch on, and it's something that even through this whole conversation we're speaking about, and you're finding ways to not only focus on the delayed gratification, but we do need to learn how to reward ourselves in the instant as well.
Yeah. Yeah, the real estate market is up and down. There is no rhyme or reason. I mean, you obviously want to look at data and know when you are doing things well, but there are instances where you could do everything right and just no deals happen because it just wasn't, everything was done correctly. Someone beat you out to the punch because they outbid you. They are paying a premium to purchase the property. You recommend to your investor, hey, listen, it's not worth it at that number. Let's move to the next property.
Yep.
To no fault of you, the deal doesn't get done, and you could look at that as a failure. Or you can say, all right, well, we now have seen 10 properties, and we've bid on 9 of them. Maybe the 11th is the one that's going to be the right one. And all this good faith that I've built up with these clients is going to, result in some type of deal.
Right.
But you can't get stuck on it has to be this deal because then you start making the wrong decisions. When you're trying to just get a deal together, you're not operating in your client's best interest. And that's what I've come to know. And as I operate day to day, I need to make sure that my attitude is related to getting the work done and not getting the deals done.
Gotcha.
Because the deals come if you do enough work. It's stupid, it's cliche, but as much as I harp on like that, it's a hard thing to remember because when you don't have any deals for like 6 months, you're like, am I the worst agent in the world? And then all of a sudden like 4 come together. You're like, I'm the best. But that up and down kills you because you get a little lazy, right? You have 4 deals. I don't really need to make my calls today. Like I have so many deals, but you're just lying I was lying to myself of like, wow, I have a lot of leads, but I have a lot of buyers. I talked with the guy that works with me, Greg, and we talk strategy a lot. And we basically were talking about, I'm like, man, like I was inundated with leads this week, but it wasn't any listings. There was a couple. So in reality, that's what I want. That's what gives you stability. That's the results. But I'm not putting in the work to get the leads because I'm not doing my cold calls, right? Which is not a bad thing, but if I want to get to a certain level, I got to do it. So I have to make that fun and that work be what I focus on. It's like working out. If you focus on losing the weight, it's a lot harder to keep yourself motivated versus enjoying the workout. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes total sense. I thought of you actually. One, because of the tree situation. I think that's me.
So Home Depot.
I know you're big on the money tree. So there was a story about this this bamboo, the Chinese bamboo tree, right? And typically, what happens with these Chinese bamboo trees, and I'm butchering it a little bit, but you'll get the gist of it. So the planter or the farmer, whatever it is, you prep the soil, you put the seeds into the ground, and you kind of let it be, right? Every now and again, you're coming back, you're watering, but nature is taking its course. For I think it's like 3 to 5 years, zero growth, literally zero growth. And then either year 3 or year 5, I'm forgetting which one, the thing booms to 80 feet.
Instantly?
Like literally,
Jack
not
and the
instantly,
Beanstalk?
but over the next like 2 years, it booms all the way to 80 feet.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the story of success, and even where we're all trying to go, just everybody in life, right? We just have to keep putting that work in and keeping the faith and aligning it with intentional action to eventually be that 80-foot. I'm trying to be that 80-foot bamboo tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm still in the ground right now, but I'm trying to be that 80-footer.
Yeah.
And it's a good concept to keep in mind.
Full disclosure too, the money tree has become my like reminder daily, because when I bought it, it was fully grown, right? And I look at it like it was my career in real estate. Like I was fully expanded in my previous company. And then when it came, it died and I had to restart. So I had to cut that thing to the base and start feeding it without seeing a lot of results. And then eventually one day it popped a new thing right from the previous dead branch.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh man, that's weird. That's like very conducive to what I went through.
And while you started a whole new business.
Full disclosure too. Full disclosure.
Uh-oh.
The nice stalk that I sprung, I chopped the old one down to make more room for more growth, and I caught a piece of it and killed the new stalk.
Oof.
But I have 4 or 5 new ones growing.
You know what I thought you were going to say?
Again, don't put all your eggs in one basket in the real estate game. You got to work a lot of deals at once. You lose one, it's not the end of the world.
Very true.
This money tree, I talk to it every morning. I go on and touch it. Come on, you mother.
The young moolah, if you
Needs,
will, right?
Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. Literally, I say that. So it's been cool. Sometimes the visual cues and things I enjoy. And because it's right there and it gets lonely in that office, that little guest room, sometimes you got to keep yourself motivated. So,
you know what I thought you were going to say is that full transparency, you pulled the leaves off and you actually went to the bank and was hoping to cash it in for something.
So I did take I took the dead stalk and I rubbed it all over my desk. I swear to God.
And now your desk is scratched.
Covered in ants. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big part of it is like sometimes you get caught up in that, like, man, there's no deals happening, and it pulls you away from what you should be doing to get the deals.
Right.
Because you're focusing on the result, you're not doing the thing to get you the result, right? Which is so simple, but you got to remind yourself like constantly. It's like, it doesn't matter. And that's what it's great to have Greg, because he doesn't like care. He's like, what, did you do the calls? Like, he's like kind of the accountability. It's like AC, like, well, did you eat 4 burgers?
Yeah.
And you can't, it's easy to lie to yourself, but like when you say it out loud to someone, you're like, wow, I'm an idiot. Like, no, I didn't do any calls this week. Well, why don't you have it listed? I didn't do any calls, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good acknowledgement, you know, and just being aware of this stuff is big time.
Yeah.
I have I mean, we're basically like a science podcast here, right?
It
the big
might be the
science.
most scientific
That's what I'm
podcast
saying.
in the game.
Right, but we forget the stats, we forget the numbers. But besides that, this is a portion of the big science, if you will. You know I'm into science. So rewards actually release the hormone, the neurotransmitter that we spoke about before on this podcast called dopamine. Right. And dopamine is very addictive. It's something that can be created through good addiction, like, you know, exercise can release dopamine into the brain, or, you know, say you're addicted to social media. This has happened to me plenty of times where as soon as you hit post, you get like this, not convulsions. I'm like shaking in the chair over here, but you get like this like rush, like, you know, is everything good? Then you get the first like, boom, the second like comes in. Now you're feeling good. A comment comes in, boom, they start, you get that hit, right? And that's an addictive feeling, but rewards and actually learning how to reward yourself produces that same chemical. And with dopamine, there's 4 specific things. I mean, who doesn't want dopamine here? It makes us feel happy. It increases our memory retention. regulates our mood and helps us sleep better. I don't know if it ignores crying babies and allows you to sleep better, but we should be finding ways to have that dopamine release more often. And rewards are a really good way to do that. Whether you buy something for yourself,
Yeah.
right? Or you go take that new exercise class, or you just put on your favorite show. But when you do something as an action, as a result to say, hey, look, I had a really good day today, and then you take that action, that's a dopamine release.
Love it. Do you have a go-to dopamine trick that you like to reward yourself with?
Honestly,
Do you have a favorite treat?
I really do. Yeah. That Oreo at the end of the day, right?
Structure.
It's a very weird thing, but just pull, and the sound of the zzz, like when you know what I'm saying? Like when you pull that thing back. Yeah. I'm not getting the.
No, it's like a it's not a whoop. Imagine if it made that noise. Sound like a transformer.
When you pull that thing,
Eat that
when you pull
Oreo.
that thing back, I mean, I think that's the dopamine hit. But then when I take that first bite too, that really gives me pleasure.
So you're
But
addicted to food.
pretty much. So when I have a really good day, I look forward to the Oreo, right? And I reward myself with 1, 2, usually 3.
Yeah.
That, and then also my haircut, which I spoke about. Every Friday, I really look forward to getting out of there. I mean, it's become a real thing now. Like I don't know if I said this on the podcast, but I'm representing the town on some legal matters.
Yeah.
And the attorneys are like, Friday, 12 o'clock, you got what's it called? A deposition.
Yeah.
I said, no, Rich, I'm sorry. I can't make it. He goes, why? What do you got? Got a haircut.
Very important.
And he was like, are you serious? I'm like, I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and I'm fortunate that now I'm in a position to where I can
Throw your weight around.
I can do that. Like
Flex a
I'm
little bit.
representing the town. So, you can do that. And this is not a humongous
You're doing them a
legal
favor,
battle.
basically. Yeah.
But I need this, right? And every Friday I look forward to just stepping into that chair, man. Because I had a good week.
I figured out my treat that I
Digging
like.
dirt, you shared it with us, which is weird.
My treat, I figured it out, is when I'm doing, so if I want to get better at an action, let's use working out as an example.
Mm-hmm.
I like to make a reward for something to stick to that action, but that reward then makes that action easier to do and more fun.
Explain that.
Example, I really want a weight vest, right? Because I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. I get out into the workout when I'm walking. It makes you a little more efficient. Rugged again, rugged transformation. Listen to country music, going to get a truck, as we know. So if you get to, say, 215 weight, right?
Yep.
If that's the goal. I don't even know what a goal
I was
is.
215, I think, in like high school or something.
Yeah. Your right arm's 215. Whatever it is, 215. Then I'm going to buy that weight vest because then it compounds into doing more of that. And then you put the next thing, right? Shoes for the workout, because then you're more likely to want to work out because you got the fresh shoes on.
Yep.
I'm doing the same thing with my construction in the backyard. I have this crappy wheelbarrow, and I'm like, when I clear out this dirt over here, I'm getting a nice one. So then the next dirt that I clear, it's easier to push, right?
Yep.
You leave these little, like, all right, I'm going to dig this hole manually.
Yep.
And then if I get to a certain point, I'm going to rent a backhoe truck.
Wow.
Like a excavator, if you will, mini excavator. So like, I do this for real estate too. Like, all right, well, when I get to a certain point, I'm going to get myself a new phone case. It doesn't have to be big, but it gives you that little hit of like,
of course.
You earn that. And then you look at the phone case, you're like, all right. And you're improving yourself. So I like to do that. Clothes has been a big one because that's a big lack area I have, where now that I like a certain brand that fits me well, I'm like, all right, once I get to certain weights, I'm getting this amount of clothes. And then you put those clothes on, you look better.
Yep.
Clothes fit better.
That's right.
And man, I'm going to stick to my diet because my clothes fit. I like the trick of the compounding.
Yes.
And then before you know it, 10% body fat, cover of Man's Magazine, Greenwich's well best dressed. Like, we're getting there,
Yes. So there's something I did. I did it last week, I guess. There was a really nice day. I don't know if it was Thursday, Friday. It was a really nice day. Sunny, 75. I saw it. So I actually put in a half a day for myself, right? And I told my boss, I told the secretary, and I just did it because I was like, listen, we had a good week. Like, I want to get out of here. When I get out of here, though, I don't want to have my phone. I don't want anything. But leading up to that, I knew that it was probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 big tasks that I knew that I had to get done. And what I really noticed, though, was it allowed that simple reward allowed me to really stay on track versus procrastinating in my head. Oh, I got a million things to do. Oh, you know, what time is lunch? Like, what am I going to have for dinner? You know what I mean? Like, I was focused on, listen, I want to bang out these 4 or 5 things as fast as possible so I can get to the reward. And it was something that I immediately noticed. I thought the thinking of my day-to-day structure until I was taking that day off became a little bit more intentional. And I was like, damn, like maybe you're onto something here. And I'm sure, you know, me in my head thinking, wow, I could be on a lake with a cigar soon, like by 1 o'clock on a Friday, like that was keeping me going. So that was a form of reward that I can just think back to.
That's one of the things I have to do more of is when I have a dinner or something structured that I know is at the end of the day at a certain time, I'm way more efficient.
Right.
Because I'm like, you don't have time to think about it, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get stuff done, you just knock it out. So I love that.
No, I think it's a again, it's a habit that needs to be practiced, right? Like this positive reinforcement or whatever, or just finding your own little reward system. You need to practice this because as workers, right, especially like the 3 of us, we do a lot. We go get it, progress. You lose sight of this. And when you're not practicing something, the constant day-to-day chaos, that becomes your norm. Whereas we need the day-to-day chaos to go on, but every week we should be treating ourselves to something that you like to do.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you get in the habit of just saying no because it's an inconvenience, when in reality, you really should do that. And if you're super busy, you should be doing it. Right on cue. What's up, Pops? So it went well, guys.
Good.
It's in. Dryer's in.
Beautiful.
Knock on wood. Nothing else fucking breaks.
Bang, bang.
So was I talking?
No. Yeah, so go ahead.
I fall into the habit of when I get overwhelmed, my default is say no to personal things because I just, for some reason, can't figure out like it's a priority and I'm working on, then I have to actually put it in my schedule.
Right.
I've said it before. P is purple, which is personal, which is in my schedule. I literally put in now
G is green.
my workout.
Right? Is that one of your colors?
G is green, which is real estate
Money.
stuff. Orange is food, which is, I don't know why it's orange. One of my favorite colors. Yellow is I don't have to attend, but something's going on to check in about.
Yep.
And then if I put a note in the top, it's like, you have to remember this is a priority today. So like, you know, anniversaries, whatever it is, just make sure you clear the schedule. But I always default to the no for the personal stuff when you are maxing it out and really busy. That's when you should be doing more of the personal stuff because it keeps you even keel.
But it's tough though, because then in most people's heads, what we do is like, damn, I'm gonna miss out on money or I'm gonna miss out on this opportunity, right? So it's that important. Like,
well, the big mental block for me, and I don't know how you feel about this, mental block for me was like, I want to be off. But then when I embrace I'm never off and it's fine, that's okay. They can wait. I'll get back to them if I have to pop out and make a call. It's not the end of the world. I had that like start, stop. You always hear about balance, time blocking. But then when I just kind of said it's all the same thing, then it became a lot easier. And I was less critical of myself answering a phone call while out with the family. Because my thought was like, well, I'm out with the family. Like, I'm not going to answer a call. But then I'm like, all right, well, I'll be thinking about the call the whole time I'm with them.
Right.
So why don't I just pop out for a minute so that I can give my full attention?
Yep. Yeah, no, it's a big thing in the workplace too. And I have these discussions with some of my team, and one in particular really does not like when I'm looking at someone.
Yeah, no, I can tell.
One in particular does not like when
contact.
when I touch on this topic. But it's so true, even for myself. Like I give the scenario all the time. I'm like, the reality is, if I'm gone tomorrow, and not in any like I'm hit by a truck, right?
That's what I think.
But if I'm gone tomorrow, whether I'm on vacation on the lake or in Puerto Rico, wherever I want to be, or if I'm like gone and got a new job, the work is still going to go on.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And to some people's point, they say, well, it's not going to be the same. No, it's not going to be the same, but it's going to go on. And we have to keep in mind when we do get really stressed out and things are really pressing, like you taking a half day to, you know, do some stuff with your family that you really want to do. If you're intentional about it, you will come back so much stronger the next day versus like stressing yourself out in the moment, trying to get everything done. I got to squeeze. Now you're going to go home, be even more stressed. You're probably going to get in a fight with your kids or your family members because you're so stressed out. And then you're going to wake up stressed too, versus putting it down, saying, you know what, I'm taking this half day and I'm coming back stronger tomorrow.
Yep.
You know?
My visual cue that
Good, we shut him up.
The
Good.
visual cue I give myself for when I get overwhelmed now.
Is that a double bifid?
I'm going to show you right here. So the visual cue, and I'm figuring myself out because the ADD thing's for sure there. When I get overwhelmed, it's when I'm seeing all the tasks at the same time. visually, the like trick for me is I make like I go like this, and it all comes to a straight line. So like everything I have that I need to do,
Squish it.
what's the first thing? And I imagine that they're all in a line like paper, and the only thing I can see is the front one. All right, next one, next one, next one.
I like that.
Because when you're doing this, it's so overwhelming. But when you got one in front of you, knock it out. One in front of you, knock it out. Which has been a philosophy of yourself that you do. You like to do things, and I'm not saying you can't knock out a bunch of big projects, but the little day-to-day stuff, you can't be like on and this and that. Like when I'm doing phone calls, I'm even more now time blocking what I'm doing within the time block. So I have a little section, it's showings, 12 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's showing appointments, like setting up appointments. Showing scheduling is the term in a certain hour, right? So I'm not taking new call. I'm calling and setting up all my appointments at this time, right? And then this section is cold calling, looking at listings. Like I'm getting even more specific because even the vague and the looseness of, all right, we're doing cold calls, it's not specific enough, right? So like client cold calls, listing cold calls. So
but
trying to get more.
I mean, that's the formula right there. Obviously, you have the experience to go with it. But when you get to this level that you're at now, and obviously we're all still working, so I don't mean it in like you're at this astronomical level, but in terms of the skills that you have now, this is when like real scaling happens, right?
Well,
like scaling of your business.
Yeah, well,
because
it's a
now
muscle.
Your process now is your process needs to have a process like Rob Dyrdek, your boy, has mastered.
Yeah.
Right. And when you get to that level, like right now you're exploring it, I'm exploring it.
Yeah.
When you master that and the things that you're talking about right now, that's where you see that bamboo tree.
So it's like a muscle too, because the papers that are not in a straight line happen when you hit a new point of volume.
Right.
And then you got to like, your chest has to be strong to push everything back. When you're doing a bench and you're up above your max, your form goes, right? So like you got to
tweak,
and then you tweak, and then you get all out of whack, and then you
go
set
back
yourself
down
back.
to 185.
So everything's very similar. So it's like when you're constantly trying to kind of push the envelope, you got to keep redoing things that seem basic, but they're very important.
Big
so
time.
it's a struggle.
Yep.
You get a little big in your britches. You're like, why am I doing this? And you're like, I got to do it.
That's one that I definitely have a question about.
Big in your britches? Too big for your britches. You're
Yeah,
busting out
you know
your
how I'm a
britches.
little off with the there's certain things I'm very intelligent with, and then there's certain things that I'm very ignorant to. Brigham, the big what?
I
Too
don't
big
know.
for your
Too
britches.
big
I don't know
for
that
the
either.
britches.
Britches, I think, are pants.
I
And
don't
if
know
you're
what
too
that
big
is.
for 'em,
I was
you're
just gonna say,
busting
what's a
out of 'em.
britch?
What is it?
Britches, I think. I don't know.
What's a britches?
Too big. Oh, you don't know either.
No.
Oh, let's go.
I don't know.
You made this up.
Wait, he says I don't know. You just said it.
The big
I
britches.
think it's pants, but that's
Let me
just
look it up.
assumption.
Let me look
the
it up.
big britches.
How's the saying go?
Too big for
too
your
big
britches.
for your britches.
It means you get ahead of yourself.
I'm
You're
too big
out of
for my
your skis.
shirts, Michael. Michael, you have
I got
anything?
no definition.
Do you
What
have
happened?
anything left to say before we go into my favorite section?
I need to get tan. That's my next thing.
So, CV, while you're doing that, this will bring us to my favorite section, Dave's Dime of the Week.
Do you like how I did that?
I know.
I did one of these.
But if you're on YouTube, my man just
That was a
poached
good
his
face.
lips together and took the biggest pause on purpose.
You realize that there's a whole button that
'Cause
makes everything go.
He didn't want to dime
Okay.
me. But this will wrap us up beautifully. Don't know who said it. Could have been Dave Regina, if you will, while I was in the car. I don't know. But it goes a little bit like this. Celebrate personal victories because no one knows what it took or what it takes to accomplish what you're set out to accomplish.
That's a confusing quote. That definitely was you.
Absolutely.
Wait, say that again?
Basically, it's like celebrate yourself
Yeah.
because nobody knows what it took to get this far,
Got it.
and no one knows what it takes to be you and accomplish what you're trying to do
Well
because
said.
everybody has a story.
I would, the mic dime for that one would be,
The mime, if you will.
don't forget to celebrate your personal goals or personal achievements because they are personal.
Ooh, I like that.
Because
That
no one knows what.
That one hit for me. I like that.
Is that good?
Yes,
I'm taking over.
it's true.
Look at the sock game. Look at the loafers, the drivers. Are you?
Ooh.
Can we do a bleep?
So I have some definitions. You guys want them?
The bridge?
Yeah, give me
before we end?
britches for
The
the
big bridge.
finale.
So the saying was too big for your britches.
Look at that.
That's what I
correct?
said. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Look at that.
Behaving as if you are the most important than if you are more important than you really are.
Yeah. What's the saying from though?
Look
You
at
know?
that. Did
Like,
you
what's
see
the
what I'm
bridge?
seeing on the screen?
Davy Crockett?
think so.
CV, do you
It's my
see what
guy.
I'm seeing here on the screen?
Little.
If you're on YouTube, you should go check
I
it
got to
out.
get a new co-host because by relation here, pale, no tattoo. I just look very weak and non-rugged.
He looked very Bamilla.
Wait till in a year when we come back to this, you're going to see me and be like, wow, that
Play
guy
the clip
drives a
from the
truck.
last year that he said this.
That guy drives a truck
every year.
and he's in unbelievable shape because he shoveled dirt.
I see you. I see you. Guys, so whether you've listened to 1 or 150,
50.
bang, we say thank you as always. We're very grateful for you. Michael, let them know where to shop, my brother.
NoSnoozeshop.com. If you've been rocking with us this long, love and respect.
God
you.
bless you, right?
Yeah, you're losing it.
Literally.
Yeah, big ramble today. That was
I
a good
know.
one. I
Listen.
enjoy those.
Hopefully you enjoyed a couple hot dogs, some burgers. Again, remember, Memorial Day is a day of remembrance. So we thank you to each and every service male and female that's out there. And if you're still out there, then that means that we're not remembering you. Thank God. Right?
Yeah, that was a
Thank
good
God.
point. Yeah, sodium's gonna be through the roof this
Yeah, right?
weekend.
Big
Got to
time.
work on the sodium.
So, guys, until next time, stop snoozing
Get up and get after it.
and stop digging. Get yourself a worker.
I'm trying to get an angle here where I look decent, and I can't find one. That's another Epi in the books. Go follow us on Instagram and Facebook at No Snooze Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, No Snooze. Come on.